I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Just like the newspapers publish pictures and arrest information on people that get arrested. I'm going to do a thing of my own. Every time a judge issues a shitty bond, it's far out of hand. I've got something to shake things up a little bit. Something for Joey. It's past time, first of all. Tender your resignation. I've got a post on Facebook. It's from May 30th, 2017, Oxford Police Department. Of course, that's where Joey East was the police chief at the time. We now know of the part that Joey East played in everything. May 26th, sent the email out to the mayor and the board of aldermen to change 2 city ordinances regarding the carrying of firearms. And it tied back into concealed carry, but they made sure to change the part where you can't have like an AR-15. You can't carry an AR-15. I never hurt anybody. I never threatened anybody with it. And I think what this shows right here, in this latest article that I'm about to post, is that not only did Joey East play a material part in creating the shenanigans, the fiasco that's going on right now, that Lafayette County is having to pay for. Not only did he help create it, but it's now safe to say that he was also 100% behind the smear campaign of me to help justify. I think, in my opinion, it was to help legitimize the fake accusation. They posted LCSO case, but due to the attention, we'll share it. Oxford Eagle. Judge sets $150,000 bond for Reardon. Now, I'm going to read through some aggravated stalking accusations around this area. See if anything even looks remotely close to being equal. You have Matt Nichols, charged with cyber stalking. Investigators with Oxford Police Department received a report on September 15th of harassment by Matthew Keith Nichols, 34, of Oxford, as he was sending harassing messages and refused to stop when asked. Nichols was arrested on October 27th on the charge of cyber stalking. He was taken into custody and issued a $15,000 bond by a circuit court judge. I wonder who the judge was on that. Next, this is a good one. Oxford man arrested on felony domestic violence charge. An Oxford man was arrested recently on a domestic violence charge. The Oxford Police Department was dispatched on Sunday to the 1000 block of Buchanan Avenue in reference to a domestic violence assault. Officers arrived and arrested Taylor Beard, 25, of Oxford, and charged him with aggravated domestic violence, a felony charge when a weapon or strangulation is used during the assault. Beard was taken to the Lafayette County Detention Center, where he was booked on a $20,000 bond. Then he had the latest. And I saw this actually on a mainstream website last night. Man charged with aggravated stalking in Oxford. A Panola County man was charged with aggravated stalking after an altercation last week in Oxford. According to Oxford Police, Lyndon Mosley of Pope was charged after a disturbance at an Oxford gas station. On November 11, 2021, the Oxford Police Department was dispatched to a gas station in the 2000 block of University Avenue for a disturbance. After investigation, it was revealed that Lyndon Mosley, of 26 of Pope, pulled a weapon on an individual at one of the gas pumps. Mosley was charged with aggravated stalking on November 16th. Mosley, a former Marine, was himself a victim of a shooting in Lafayette County 5 years ago. He lost one of his eyes in the incident. A Lafayette County Justice Court judge issued Mosley a $2,500 bond. Does fairness actually still exist? Or is our legal system, as it plunged over the deep end? You have May 21st, 2017, Todd Lynch with a call to me in regards to Ashley and the wing incident. 9:30 p.m. May 21st. I never did do anything.
Judge Bell, the same one that set my bond at $150,000, set a guy that right before Christmas held somebody up at a gas pump in Oxford, was charged with aggravated stalking. He was captured, on video at the gas station, holding somebody up, given a $2,500 bond by a justice court judge. They wouldn't say the person's name. So obviously I said, yeah, that's Bell. That sounds just like Bell. Let me get the public records for that. So I requested it, and that became a shit show in itself right there. But I got the record. They admitted it was Carolyn Bell that did it. And it's like, you mean to tell me that I tell this judge that I had evidence I wanted to show of my complete innocence at my initial hearing. She reminded me, twice, cut me off, and said that I had the right to remain silent. But she never did say I had a right to a preliminary hearing. I was clearly trying to give evidence to the fact of my innocence, through a bill of sale, and this judge cut me off twice to tell me I had the right to remain silent. Okay, but she never did. Obviously, why would I turn down a preliminary hearing if I'm saying I have evidence of my innocence? That should have easily been inferred as, I was needing a preliminary hearing. Yet, she set bond at $150,000. Supposedly said no guns as a stipulation of the bond, but never said it. I never heard that, but that was written on the order. And they did that to hold me. They knew I had just days prior to that, I had gotten a $10,000 bank wire as part of a retirement, from Syntex, a split. So I get given a $150,000 bond. 10%'s $15,000. Well, I just got $10,000 from Syntex. Okay, that puts it a little bit above what I would have access to. And of course, I wasn't getting it from my family. So they kept me, I found out later that the public defender's office had actually filed a motion to proceed on habeas corpus for bond reduction, citing 2 federal and 2 state constitutional violations, with my unlawful detention. And it was approved that same day for me to proceed. However, nobody ever told me a habeas corpus was ever filed, although I was saying the whole time, I need to get out, okay? Nobody told me that was ever filed. I was worried that Trout wasn't doing anything because he was a public defender, and so my mom ended up hiring Haran out of Grenada. Well, I don't know exactly when she hired Haran. Haran actually never entered an entry of appearance into the circuit court matter, so that's a problem in itself. But I'm trying to figure out, okay, why did this habeas corpus go stale? It was never acted upon, even though the judge approved for me to be brought from jail that same day by the sheriff and show just cause why I'm being, held there, especially on a bond like that. Well, why was that never acted upon? Why did I never know that was ever filed? Haran, okay, had a bigger interest in Robin and Ray Tannehill because I argued for a continuance, and it was sometime later on in June that we had a hearing for the bullshit restraining order that they had taken out on me to make it go permanent. Haran had a bigger interest in having me agree to their stipulated permanent protection order because it would be a solution. It would help me get out of jail, okay, out of the situation that I'm in. So on any other situation, I would have argued that, and I would have been successful in arguing against that protection order because it was lies and bullshit that was on there. That was constitutionally protected. And, he got me to agree to it as a stipulation of it helping to get me out, to maybe make this situation go away with how Lafayette County had me confined. Well, then that didn't happen. About 2 more weeks later, it's July 6th, July 6th. The mayor had just gotten sworn into office a week prior. 7 days after she was sworn into office, he says, I think we can make a deal with them. It involves, you plead guilty to it. And I was honestly in fear because these people are blatantly breaking laws like this, and they've completely violated my rights. I don't know what could happen to me next. Like, I want to get my liberty. I want to get my freedom. I need to get out of here because they also have my daughter sucked into the middle of a chancery court battle based on lies and immoral things right there involving my ex as part of a bigger plan that, honestly, my daughter's under attack to it, and I'm under attack, and I'm under attack in so many different courts. Chancery Court, the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, now District Court, Justice Court, Circuit Court. They literally, they are trying to bombard me. I have no attorney, but yet I've been filing explosively in return, basically saying, I'm not gonna fall. I'm not gonna go down on this. It's only gonna make me that much more knowledgeable, and it's gonna make me come back that much harder.
You have May 21st, 2017, Todd Lynch with a call to me in regards to Ashley and the wing incident. 9:30 p.m. May 21st. But that video was made on the 21st at 9:30 p.m. There's never any mention about any threat made to him. Surely he would have. He was looking for some reason to attack me. And at the very end of it, he says, Matt Reardon is a danger to our society. He's going to be a problem, mark my words. That is a political agenda. This was a political witch hunt. Through the help of Joe East, he was able to accomplish this. Through the help of Sandra Owens Fry, he was able to accomplish this. Through the help of many others, he was able to accomplish this. I had trial on November the 4th, 2021. I called it the November 9. It was the mob-dominated trial in Lafayette County. Brought in retaliation by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department, what I believe was retaliation for me conducting a 1.5-year investigation into the county, making the discoveries that I did. I've long claimed that government officials over here have been working side by side, conspiring with, in particular, I know at least one private citizen, but multiple, in a grand scheme to abscond with their defects, their wrongful acts. At the end of the day, it all comes back to 2 people in particular, I can now claim. It all leads back to Joey East, the Lafayette County Sheriff, and Liz Crowder. Liz has been involved some way, shape, or form in every single thing that I have going on. There couldn't be any more evidence pointing to it, tying back to her. The authorities are refusing to curb the problem.
The way that they need to unify to get things done, And, you know, there are too many people that are just Republican in name only. And this is a prime example how this stuff is going on. And the state attorney general's office is a Republican, which I've been a Republican all my life, okay? And my own party has just walked all over me and refused to even, you know, look at, say anything and address, you know, the fact that this is some shocking things that are happening. How do you just stay silent? I don't hear anything. These people that hated, you know, galore on me back in 2017, they're silent. They haven't said a thing. When the question is asked, you know, if you knew about this was brought to you so many times, why didn't you act in your official capacity? And your task duty, your sworn duty, you know, to uphold the law and provide equal protections, why didn't you act? And I don't know what
their answer's going to be. I know they can't say plausible deniability. I've said this since day one. The one thing that you are not going to be able to say if you are within the local state government in no way, shape, form, or idea can you ever say you didn't know about it. Yeah, it's going to be a long month. I guess you could say it's another showdown. I'm over at my favorite spot off the 7. I've always been a down south, toes in the sand, down by the water type of guy. That's why I'm down here at the landing. 30 degrees. I'm at a fucking boat landing. It's a place for me to gather my thoughts. For me to let go of some stress. And for me to reflect. I have a hearing in front of Judge John Kelly Luther, the same one that has insisted on getting involved in every single matter, in circuit court and in justice court. He's handpicked the judge twice that Lafayette County had to bring in, when all Lafayette County judges recuse themselves. Tell me that's not saying a lot. I expected that. I fully expected that. Because in no way can anything remotely involving Lafayette County involve anything with fairness. It has been cheap shot after cheap shot after cheap shot in this God-forsaken county that has clearly lost all track of what civil rights mean, what they are, what they mean. So getting back to Friday, big day. All I've ever wanted was a fair hearing, was fair, non-biased treatment. Because I think what happened to me back in 2017 was definitely bad enough. Definitely took the cake. Nobody is deserving of this that I've had to deal with over the last 4 years, except for the people that have done it to me. They
need to feel what it feels like. I mean, Joey East, who the hell does this guy think he is? To pull up and say, start everything off by saying, don't go back in the courthouse. And this can really be traced back to years prior, okay? I never had a problem with Joey East. As far as I knew, he was a good guy. I never had a problem with Buddy East, but it clearly, through all things that I've gathered, it clearly shows that those two son of a bitches had a huge problem with me. All I've ever been out for since day one, you can track it back to 2017, the things that I was doing, really dissect everything. Because these people are criminal. They have injected a fake narrative in order to keep my life absolutely just in a hellacious hill of disarray. They don't care. Joey East thinks he's fucking invincible. He thinks he's invincible because he's an East. He's going to continue trying to tell any lie that he possibly can to weasel himself out of the glue trap that he put himself in. He knows what he did. I know what he did. Soon enough, everybody is going to know who he is, what he's capable of, and the immense problems that are about to come to everybody if it's not put in place right now. John Kelly Luther was the trial judge that took the fraudulent plea. Should have been considered fraudulent plea. The state of Mississippi, shame on them. Lafayette County, shame on them. Judge John Kelly Luther, shame on him. How do you not know when, especially when somebody has brought it to the attention, how do you not know when due process is afforded and when it's not? I'm not asking for an essay, for a paragraph, for your opinion. I'm asking for a binary answer to look at these things and say, well, yes, they happened, or no, they didn't. That's as simple as the answer needs to be. It doesn't need to be any simpler. Or it doesn't need to be any more complicated. There's no doubt, 100% should be in the back of his mind that this was wrong since day one. Habeas corpus filing filed by Christian McCrae. She was an associate attorney for T.R. Trout in Oxford, the public defender. I was worried about T.R. Trout and the amount of time that he had, being that he was probably one of the few public defenders in Oxford. So he's representing me. I never got told that Christian McCrae had filed nobody ever told me that she filed a habeas corpus, a motion to proceed in habeas corpus for bail reduction. Never got told of any of that. I knew, and both attorneys sure knew well. And then when I say both attorneys, I'm talking about T.R. Trout and Christian McCrae. They knew. And Brennan Horan definitely knew and took full advantage, exploited the whole situation, helped Lafayette County exploit the whole situation, certainly helped Ray Tannehill and Robin Tannehill exploit the whole situation. I guarantee things are about to get pretty litigious from all directions. Brennan Horan was the only thing that Brennan Horan really centered himself on and around is what would benefit Ray and Robin Tannehill. That's it. It bothers me that a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, it really bothers me that I didn't actually go to the Bar Association about Brennan Horan. I figured, well, we're in the good old boy state. I've seen what law enforcement will do, how different areas of the government will band together and do some of the most unscrupulous of things, even work with private citizens. So I figured, what the hell? I mean, it's not going to get anywhere. 3 years later, 2-3 years later, it sure isn't going to get anywhere now. Not with Ray Tannehill appointed by the Supreme Court to the Bar Tribunal, where you report a bad, sloppy attorney like himself. See, I've never directly hated anybody like the people that hate me, and the levels of just sick, extreme shit that they'll go to. And they'll do it just either unbeknownst to everybody else, or nobody just seems to give a damn because of who they are. They're willing to drop their moral values and what they consider to be right and wrong. They're willing to let that go by the wayside and then turn right around at that same moment and throw the pointing finger, persecuting, like literally, it's unfair, it's absolutely sloppy, it's literally a full, they have turned the courts, they've turned, and I don't think people are just really realizing the actual effects of everything that's going to come, but they've truly turned the courts into a battleground, a war zone. They want to try to label me to be a bad person, to be a crazy person, but that's just because they have not taken a self-accountability of anything at all. Had they have just done the right thing from the beginning, had they not have continued to throw a defense shield up whenever it came to getting to the bottom of what really happened, asking for help, bringing things to people's attention, okay? The results of stuff that stem from that has directly, 100% created the largest of monsters